Greetings, everybody. Thanks for joining me once more on the beginner walkthrough. AI War 2, we're going to be having some fun with Chokepoints today. We're going to deal with a raid engine, all kinds of cool things coming, hopefully narrowing it down further in terms of exploring the unexplored areas of the galaxy. First of all, a few questions that came up, and we had one person that was asking about fleet experience related stuff. Is it really beneficial to get that many fleets? Because if you mass them all together, the experience lowers. And basically, my answer to that right now, the way experience works now, it's going to change, is that you don't really need to worry about that too much with offensive attacking fleets because the experience doesn't help them that much. It does in some cases. Force field frigates, your transport flagships will get a little more durable, but it's not a huge thing. It's much more important for your guarding fleets, especially your command station fleets, but those are not going to have a whole bunch of them gathered together in one place. Worry more about what you can conquer than necessarily, the experience penalty there. And VDate made what I think is pretty self-evident point, but it didn't occur to me. So let's take a look at the Golem, wherever it was. There we go. I'd forgotten where it ended up. Anyway, the one hull and 0 shields, and it being super fragile, well, that's actually not that big of a deal. Because if we look at like these fleets over here, they also have one hull and 0 shields, and let's see, this one does as well. They all have that before you capture them. That's just what they are in their, sort of derelict state. So the Golem, we're probably going to investigate capturing the Golem anyway, but we are going to get more out of it than that would initially indicate. And then a really good point by LaMatrix about the Golem itself and it being fragile. He suggested switching out the siege frigate that it comes with for a force field frigate, which will protect it from damage. You have to be careful that ships firing out from underneath it, of course, only do half their damage, but it definitely could be useful in some situations to have that there. And then there was some discussion about how does the advanced research station fit into everything I said about, research being a force multiplier. You want to match up your tech vaults and your research with the fleets that you get. My perspective on that right now is it's best to tack on the ARS ships at the end. And the reason why I say that is just, pick the ship types that fit well with what you're already upgrading. It is true that if you capture a fleet, you're taking a 20 AI progress hit, and you're only losing hacking if you go after the advanced research station. But you need to take a certain number of planets anyway to get everything scouted. And so if you utilize the synergy there and simply take most of your planets where there are additional fleets, build up additional fleets that way, and then the advanced research station, the one line that you're going to get from them, you're not going to want to hack them all anyway because you're not going to have enough hacking points to do that. So I just think it's best to really just focus on the ARSs that match up with what you've currently got. Now, there are probably going to be changes in AIP reductions coming. I know they're working on making the hacking game tighter. Some things are going to cost more and some less, but they're generally speaking, you're going to have less hacking points to play with as they balance things out. So all of that could change. But that's how I see it as it sits now. Okay, on the docket for today, we are going to knock out this data center in Liber because that's really close by, and there'd be no reason really. We're going to come through Bryn Kemper anyway. It's only one hop over there. It is a Mark V system, so there's going to be significant resistance, but getting rid of the data center should be very quick regardless because of how wimpy they are. And then we're going to head up here and take these 2 planets, deal with the raid engine, and do some capturing more fleets and learn more scouting information on the galaxy. And one thing that I noticed that I'm still not using the hotkeys for, it's annoying me, it's got to be annoying other people. Yeah, use the hotkeys to grab your fleets. Don't just click on them because that just takes way too long. It's so much better to just grab them and move on about your business instead of, selecting each one individually or whatever. Now, I'm going to move most of them directly up here. But I am going to pick a fleet. I'll just take... Hill, this isn't the one I want. Sure. Let's take Denent. And head over there. And then we'll see what happens once we get up into Nadine with that raid engine. Okay, so here we are in Nadine. There's our lovely raid engine. We see we've got our warning here. It's alerted, and it'll launch a wave at 1.5 strength at us in 19 seconds. Now, there's two ways to deal with this. We can kill it, and, oh, well, you can avoid it. That's the first way, but we've already decided to take this system, so that's not an option. Killing it will increase AI progress by 5, or you can see that there's a sabotage hack. And that will require 20 hacking in 30 seconds. So it's going to fire at least once anyway. But the question is, would we rather have 20 hacking go away or gain 5 AI progress? Generally, I'm going to say you want to think twice about taking the system, if this is the scenario. But I think you're going to be better off using the hacking most of the time, although it could be very debatable. It could be very situational. In that case, it's probably not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. So we're just going to unload everybody. And then we'll clear out the immediate area, get this hack done. And the other fleets are incoming. And so this is going to get off one of its waves. Let's see where that goes. Okay. And it actually came right here. Oh, nope, it went to Ridgebergen. I read it wrong.
Hacking is finished.
There we go. The hack is complete. It went down. It did not increase our AI progress. And then you can see it's got strength to Ridgebergen. They're attacking here, and they've got another one coming. None of those are of enough power, though, that we need to be concerned about them. So we need to do nothing here but clear out the system. It's a Mark III system, but it does not appear it is going to cause any significant resistance. Well, we interrupt this manifestation of success to, yeah. Here's what happens when you let the threat build up. This is Ridgebergen. And they've got they had originally 24 in here going up against our defenses. I'm not actually sure who's going to win. I'm just going to let this play out. Because our engineers are going around trying to rebuild things. We've got some zombies in here. As you can see, they had more strength than us. And what happened is most of the threat came in here. So this is an example of the AI deciding, you know what, we've got enough force to do something. And you see they've knocked out a bunch of our things. But at the same time, we're trying to rebuild here. Our frigates are still around. You know, our sentry frigates, our station-keeping watchmen. Sentries are there. So they're having some fun here. And then we've got Tesla Guardian, Zombie. So we're attempting to wear them down. They're actually less than us now. So it looks like we're probably going to win this. But let's just see. It's kind of an interesting battle. And now they're heading... Okay, they got some ships that are heading straight for our command station. But... you know, I'm not sure how this is going to work out for us. Okay, now they're running away. So they've given up. And this is our crippled custom flagship that we just sort of left in here. And these can't run because of our actual tractors being online. Okay. So that's fun. Now, meanwhile, you know, that did clean it out, but it can get worse than that, obviously. They were not far from winning that battle. Meanwhile, up in, I'm going to the wrong place, Nadine. We've got some more exploration we can do, but there's our icon, the little graphs there of the Economic Command Station. And we've got going on in here is that's over here. I've put a few turrets up, not that many, and these are going with 400,000 energy. And so as we rebuild all of our stuff, we have a significant surplus now. And this is, of course, the point of the choke point is to make that happen. Also, here's our new fleet. Finty, it's called. And we'll go ahead and load all those up. And I think we want to get set. And here's another. We had this flagship got crippled coming in here. That's the one that did the knocking out of the data center. But we want to get the neighboring system now of Ix for protection. All right, now here is our new system in Ix. And I've built a logistics station here. I could have gone military, but I went logistics right on top of the wormhole into Nadine. So it would have to literally go through those force fields. Built my usual defenses out here. I built most of the things that I can. This will need to be a fairly heavily defended system. And of course, this is the idea of the choke point. I haven't put the beam cannon up, but I'll put it up later if I need it. All of the frigates, everything else is in place. And so what we've got is this defense here guarding the entry into Nadine. This makes a bunch of money and is weak defensively, but the idea is they have to go through this to get to it. And choke pointing is quite important. And oh, hello. Let's pause and take a look at this. This is our first CPA. CPA stands for Cross-Planet Attack. Every few hours, the AI will do this. Notice it does not tell you how strong it is. They will spawn throughout the galaxy, and massive is a relative term, but this is every few hours the AI gathers up the will, the force, the troops for a major offensive, and if they don't sense a target, that they'll just immediately be added to the threat fleet. So it will have a much bigger threat facing us down. But I've also added more ships, obviously, with a fleet from each of these systems. Let's do a little bit more research because we've got the amount for it. I'll let that get up to 4,500 if I can, because we're just going to add, as we've been doing, the next few $1,500 points. Not dollar, but same idea. There we go. And so now we've got a few more upgrades down here. Oops, I could have done splash instead. Whatever. Let's see where our fleets are. So with the new additions, with some upgrades. So we're now looking at the mobile strike. All of these added together. And that's 93. So we're almost up to 100 strength in our mobile fleets. Now that's not a huge amount, but it's a good sight better than we were looking at before. Now if we look around at all the new stuff that was scouted, this whole corner is almost scouted. Oh, there's another outguard beacon. Let's just hack that. Helps if you grab the right planet. Another GCA, but most of this up here just doesn't have much. We're probably just going to ignore that part of the galaxy for purposes of capturing. Of course, now we're close enough to deal with this matter converter, get that tech vault. All of that stuff's going to figure into our plans. Let's see up here. Intergalactic Coordinator. Okay. Add you more things that you can build across the board. This one, Global Frigate Cap, is 1.3 times rounded up. AI progress will rise by 10 if it dies. This is another one of those, like the GCA, where you can either hack it or you can take the planet. Another outguard beacon. We're going to gather a whole bunch of those together. There's that Zenith power generator we saw before, another raid engine. We've got some more stuff over in this area. That was our artillery golem. Nothing much going up this way. I think that's another, yep, that's a third coprocessor. This is sort of a dead-end system with a data center. And then over here, we've got this stuff sorted, and there's another coprocessor. So I believe that's all 4 coprocessors. Won't be long before we can go after those. can see all of this is what's left. It's pretty much all over in this area. And if we look at our intel briefing, up to 62 items, yes, but if we look up here, only 23 more planets. So at the rate we're going, we would actually only need to capture 3 more planets to completely have the entire galaxy explored. And so this is one of those situations where, okay, where do we go from here? We got the CPA coming in less than 10 minutes. This hack about to finish for the Outguard beacon. There's really nothing too concerning at the moment, but we don't want to spend a bunch of time because of the CPA. And I think we're just going to want to push further forward. But I'm just basically looking for something safe, another nod to the fact that this is a beginner game. We're going to capture Mura here. We don't really need this GCA, but there's only a couple of outlets here to mark 4 planets. It might be reasonably safe. You know, only the 2 jumps. Then we could go into here. We could grab that Citadel if we felt like it. You know, it's within reasonable range, probably even for the Intergalactic Coordinator. You can see Mark 4 and Mark 3 planets. So moderate resistance up through there. So I don't really see a good reason not to just send our fleet on here. There they all are, and we're again just massing everything, just doing this absolute brute force. Then of course we can hack that tech vault once we get set up in there. And we are in business again. Now a couple things to notice here. I'm going to pause this. One is we've got a bigger wave coming in here at Prism. They're escalating the size of their waves gradually as our AI progress boosts up and up and up. 174 at the moment. And the other thing is, one of the new type of turrets that we got in here is the fortified Tesla turret. And these are an area of effect target, as you can see. And right now there's a bit of a bug with area of effect, so area of effect weapons are actually better than they're supposed to be. They can impact more targets than they're supposed to be allowed to hit. I don't know if it affects all of them, but in any case, that's going to be corrected in the next patch. It does well against targets with high albedo, and you can see it can hit up to 20 targets with its Tesla coil. It's also protected against anything that fires from outside its range. Targets more than 2,800 away, then they do 1% damage. And its weapon is Splash, which, incidentally enough, I think is the one I was going to upgrade next. It is. So we'll go ahead and boost those, among other things. And let's see what else we got explored. There were 7 more planets revealed. We did get the hack done in there as well. And, okay, nothing else up here. So this is pretty much a dead zone to us. Nothing else over that way. Ooh, another fleet, but then also another coordinator, and this is for turrets. Plus 30% for more turrets. Another alarm post on our way in there. But still, that's a nice target there. So we've got a couple of coordinators to potentially aim for as we move into this section of the galaxy. Over here, well, there's definitely some new stuff here. Another data center there. A Hive Golem. Now, in the original game, Hive Golems were immensely powerful. And you can see they do metabolic damage. Flagship continuously spawns many Yellow Jackets, somewhat speedy and vicious attack drones. And auto builds drones up to 500 of them. 250. See, I'm getting my games confused. Classic had 500 Wasps. They have 250 Yellow Jackets here. It has a speed multiplier after going through wormhole, blah, 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 and AI progress will increase by 30. So yeah, all it gets is those Yellow Jackets, but based on the AI progress increase and the fact that that's the only thing, it looks like they are going to do a remarkable amount of damage. And then Major Data Center. First one of these that we've seen, but these are important. Crucial piece of AI monitoring infrastructure. AI progress will go down by 80 if you claim it, But if this or your command station dies, the AI progress will return to normal. And you've got to control the planet to take it. There is no hacking option. So this is definitely like a huge target for us. I mean, this would be a great, great thing to have for both reasons, the Golem and the major data center. So we've made major progress in scouting the galaxy. We only need, I think it's going to take another 3 planets in order to get it all. But we also want to progress through this way. We've choke pointed over here. We've got Mura, so we can strike out in this general direction. And we are moving forward, or we could come up through this way if we wanted as well. We've got a CPA incoming, but AI resistance is rising, and our AI progress is rising as well. They also struck back at us, of course, in Ridgebergen with that attack from the threat fleet, which is now rebuilding. And it's also worth noting we haven't found any tech vaults up in this area. So the only ones we got are at the beginning, and we may not get any more. The coordinators could increase our numbers, so we have lots and lots of options left. So when we return, we will definitely be seeing how that CPA behaves and trying to push our way further in the galaxy towards the AI Overlord. Be nice to figure out exactly where it is, but the locations that it can be are definitely narrowing it down. Until then, thanks for watching. Beginner walkthrough for AI War 2 will continue coming up soon.